They say that London is one of the hardest places to meet women. I really don't think that's the case. Actually, today I've got plans to go out. It's freezing cold, it's dark, it's not even late. The time now is so early, it's like 6 p.m. Planning to go out to places like Soho. Soho is great for meeting women because there's just so much talent in the streets. You can go into any bar, it's full of people, and I'm sure that every single place that you go to, there's going to be somebody that you're interested in and give you exactly the kind of night that you want. So tonight's focus for me personally has shifted. I'm not going to go out tonight and try to meet loads of women. Instead, what I'm going to do is be quite tactical with my evening. I have one specific task that I really want to nail. I want to get good at this. So I was having a word with my mentor, Jared, and he was explaining to me that there's so many steps that it takes to get good at meeting women, connecting with them, and even getting your foot through the door when you're trying to meet women and they don't give you the chance. They don't allow you to even connect with them. I felt like I'm great at approaching, and I look back on all of the approaches that I've done, especially the ones that I've been teaching the guys in London on Wingtips. We are so good at going up to any woman, meeting her, asking her what she's up to, how it's going, you know, having a great conversation that's present in the now. And the thing that I've been missing is the geographical awareness. So when I was speaking to my mentor, what he told me was that it's so vitally important, and all of the interactions that you've had in the past where it didn't go well, especially after some time, so the interactions prolonged but it didn't go anywhere, that this could be the key, the missing piece. So I'm going to focus on this today. I'm going to see if I can get some videos of me out in the field practicing, trying to get good at it. But what I'm really concentrating on, so I really want to share this with you because I look back on so many of my approaches and I can see that the failure of some of those approaches and some of those interactions is just down to this key missing ingredient. So specifically, I'm looking back at one of my approaches where I was in one of the bars outside of London, outside of the UK. A situation occurred that somebody else tried to come and chat to her. And when I noticed that this person was coming over to chat to her, I assumed that it was one of her friends, but it wasn't one of her friends. It was just some stranger who was equally drunk and ready to party and wanted to connect with everybody, and particularly tried to steal this girl from me. So when I look back on that encounter, if I had understand the geography and the positioning and how key my positioning is in that moment, I would have been able to maneuver the situation and maneuver the conversation so that I had a more secure positioning, so that I had a more stronger positioning and I was in charge of the situation, in charge of the conversation, and I could manage other people coming in and I could prevent situations like that happening. So positioning is what my key missing ingredient was, and I'm very aware that there's other things that I would like to learn and other things that I would like to get better at, but I'm going out specifically to practice this one today. So what I have been practicing so far when it comes to positioning is just putting myself into a great spot in the group. But what I'm going to work on today is to remove the person that is in the way of the great spot and try to take that spot myself. I'm going to move people to where I want them to be. I'm going to be in a leadership role, and I'm going to maintain my composure whilst I'm doing this. I'm going to be also thinking about other things like what to say, how to create a positive experience for the people that I'm connecting with, but I'm going to be very conscious of where I am. And if I can get my back towards something like a bar or a table, then I'll feel in a much more secure place. I won't have people bumping me from behind. I won't have lots of distractions going on behind me, and I'll be able to sit in the alpha position, like the main position of somebody who's got the viewpoint of the rest of the scenario. So this is key for me. I'm going to go and practice this today. I'm meeting up with Dan. I'm so excited to go out with Dan. We've been out a number of times, but never in London. So really looking forward to this today. I'm going to keep my mentor's words in my mind, and I am doing loads of research just to understand exactly how to maneuver this situation so that I can feel comfortable and in a position of power in these interactions. It's not about dominating the conversation or being the leader fully throughout the whole interaction, but just putting yourself in the secure place where she feels like she is talking to you instead of you feeling like you're talking to her. So that's all it is. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna come back afterwards and I'll let you know how it goes, because I don't wanna stay out too late. I'm just going out to practice. I'm going out to work basically today, but it should be really fun. I'm looking forward to it and can't wait to let you know how it goes.
Guys, so we made it out to Sloane Square in London. It's looking beautiful and Christmassy right now. It's fucking cold and it's raining, so I've got my umbrella ready. The thing is today is we're gonna start here, we're gonna see if there's any outdoor approaches, and we're gonna try and work on this thing positioning, which is so crucial to creating the attraction and maintaining the frame of being in that dominant alpha position, which builds her attraction and creates the energetic balance between you two, that she's the one that is trying to hit on you instead of you being the one that's trying to hit on her. It's crucial. I'm going to focus on it today. I'm here with Dan. We're going to get started in Sloane Square. Sloane Square is full of very, very beautiful cars. Ferrari just drove past. The next thing that we're going to do is head down to Soho, central London. Should be loads of girls out, even though the weather's appalling. We're going to see how it goes, take our time with it, but that's the focus of today. Other than that, we're going to work on getting through the approaches. We're going to do as many approaches as we possibly can in the shortest amount of time possible, whilst, just hanging out and having a great time. Dan's one of my colleagues in the VIP Modern Success, but it's great that we're here in London, working on it to try to build these skills and grow ourselves. I'm going to catch up with you guys after and let you know how it goes. All right, so in the rain, to avoid the traffic as well, Sloane Square went really well. Actually, we did manage to approach a couple of girls. Dan approached them. They were sweet and pleasant. They were really engaging and very interested in the conversation. And when I asked the girl at the end for to stay in touch, she was so keen. I was like, I just got the energetic, she just was like, oh yeah, like definitely kind of thing, like kind of like I'd love to, which was really nice. It's so interesting because I know that my focus for today is positioning, and it just didn't come to me at all. I didn't think about it. The only one time that I did think about it was kind of like at the beginning when they were taking some photos of one of the landmarks, and I was sort of standing on one of the sidelines, unable to break the group. So I was very aware of the positioning. We're just walking through Soho, got Carnaby Street right behind me. Should we go down Carnaby? Yeah. Let's head down Carnaby together. Carnaby's great for day game, by the way. If you haven't been to Carnaby Street, definitely recommend it. Shops on both sides, nice shops as well. A lot of girls go there, but they're kind of trapped in between the shops because they can't decide which side to go. They're looking in every window. It's been a really great place. We've done wingtips many times, and also had some great connections, like really nice people that we've met. Just like hanging out. A lot of people, I think there's a few other people that sort of day game on Carnaby, so worth checking out that street. And also today, the Christmas lights are up. I've heard that they're disappointing, but you tell me what you think of these Christmas lights, because it looks to me like a Christmas cracker. I don't even know what this is. There's boxes, like little rectangles. Tell me. Underwhelming, but doesn't matter. Let's concentrate on the positioning. I guess when you're out in the open, Jared did say that you don't need to worry too much about positioning because you've got nothing to worry about behind you, but I'm still going to stay conscious of it, and was aware of the moment that I needed to focus on it, because the situation did happen at the beginning, but after that, it didn't really matter. We were in a nice group with a nice we were in a circle, and it didn't affect anything based on where I was standing. All right, signing up for now. We'll catch up with you later. Yo, the rain is crazy in London. What the weather? Wipe camera a little. Okay, so heading home right now. Dan's gone further south. I live in West London, so just walking back to my place. I got into the habit of getting out a few stops early, so just gonna enjoy the walk, even though it's raining. Getting in my umbrella now because I can just get as wet as I want, and really focused on the positioning today. I would say, all in all, it went really well. I was telling Dan that the first approach that I did, I I saw the positioning play out in front of me that like I really got cut out of the position. I couldn't get, basically these girls wanted to get to the bar and I said something like, oh, you have to be quicker than that. And then I ended up like on the corner of the bar and they took the L of the bar. So they took the other side. And what that meant was when there was somebody in the way, so there was only one space for one girl. And I was enjoying that part of the positioning. I was enjoying that I was on the L of the bar. She was out in the open. And I was feeling like I'd done quite well with the positioning. But as soon as her friend moved up, then they both were on the long part of the bar, grabbed the menu and just kind of turned their back. It was low interest anyway. Dan had come over and he was trying to wing, but his winging was kind of like, he was only talking to the girl that I was talking to. So it wasn't like this, the positioning was, it was just off and it worked against me. And then Dan put his hand on the bar between me and her. So it really like cut me off. And I was like, oh, like that's okay. Dan's not my competition, but that's what can happen in that situation where like somebody comes in from the back, they put their hand in between you and the crush. And all of a sudden you don't have any way to really connect. You can't have that conversation across the hand, across the arm. Just really cut me out. And I was very aware of that. Then what happened after that was I had really good positioning. I had my back to the bar. Start off with some girl comes right up to me and she starts talking to me, but it's so windy. I just have to leave this now. But yeah, there was good positioning after that.
All right, so it's midnight right now. I'm back from Soho. Dan and I had a brilliant night out. We went to one bar after spending some time out in Carnaby. If you've watched the whole video up till now, including part 1, then you'll have seen that we had a really great time in Carnaby. We met loads of people, and by the time that we got to the bar, it was perfect timing. We were there at about 10, I think, maybe a little bit earlier. So we get into the bar. There's a group of girls that are sitting and Dan approaches them. He tries to ask them if they want to have a photo or something. I wasn't quite there for that, but it was a challenging approach when we talk about positioning. Then we get downstairs, which is a bit busier. It's one of the really nice bars near Kingly Court. I think it's called Little Blue Door or something like that. One of the colours is a little door. And we get downstairs where the bar is very long. So the first thing that Dan does is he finds some new friends and he puts his jacket down and meets these girls. And I didn't concentrate too much on positioning then because I wasn't really talking to them. But when I came back to meet those girls later, I was like, hey, like, I don't think we met yet, to one of the girls. And the girl was like, do you know this guy, to her friends? And the girls were like, yeah, that's the guy that like put his jacket, like they were kind of introducing me to the last one that I hadn't met. And then Dan and I ended up on the wall side of this group. And so first of all, the positioning was great. Like we were really indulging in good positioning. The next approach was over at the bar. And what I noticed was that I was already with my back to the bar and these girls came and the gap for where they wanted to order the drinks got closed up. And I said to her, like, you have to be much quicker than that. So I kind of tried to open it with a bit of a joke, tried to be a bit playful. It didn't come off well. She wasn't too interested. We didn't have a great conversation, but I kept my back to the bar. What happened was that the shape of the bar ended up that they kept moving along. And so they ended up on the bar by themselves and they turned towards the menu and chose their drinks and kind of cut me out of the conversation. So I really saw the importance of positioning playing out in front of my eyes. And then the next thing that happened was Dan put his hand in front of me on the bar, which really cut me off from these girls. He didn't mean to, he wasn't like in any competitive energy, but I was just very aware that that can happen. If there's another guy, if there's some competition, you end up in a situation where somebody puts their hand in front of you so that you can't even access those girls anymore, instead of being in the alpha position is so key. It's just playing out over and over again in front of me. So the next time, I had my back to the bar again the next time, and this girl came straight up to me. I can't remember what she said, but it was something like, are you ordering a drink? And I was like, oh no, I'm just I can't remember. I literally can't remember what happened. I think she kind of started a conversation with me, which was very platonic. It was just a logistical conversation, and we ended up getting really close. Like, she was chatting to me, but I had my back to the bar the whole time. And after a while, she actually got frustrated that she couldn't order a drink. And so I put my arm around her and suggested that I'll help her to make sure that the bar can get her a drink. So then she was hanging out with me for a while. We were kind of like really close. She was really very connected, and her body language and the way that she was like touching me, like breaking that physical boundary. She was holding my hand at some point. She was very fun and flirty, and it was her birthday. So I hope that she had a great night. I didn't really see her too much after that. But the next time that I did an approach was outside. We were sort of in the smoking area at the front. There was one girl that came by herself, and I was like, hey, like, what's going on? She said that she was with her friends, that she was waiting for one friend. She came out to get some signal. So I was like, cool, like, that's really nice. Like, just chatting away. And she had the position, like, she had the number one position, that she had the spot of the corner. So she had like all of the back behind her, and there was just the wall and the velvet rope, like the edge of the smoking area behind her, and I was sort of like floundering in the middle, and I was very aware of my positioning. The first approaches that we did out in Carnaby Street, I was saying to Dan, like, it's so hard to remember positioning because it's not something that's on my mind. I'm so preoccupied by what I'm saying and how the conversation is going. The last thing that's on my mind is like, now I need to move these people into some situation. But what I did was I used some excuse. It's just any justification to get yourself into that position. I said that I'm going to press the button for the heater, and it wasn't even off, right? The heater was still on. I just said I need to just press the button, and when I pressed the button, I turned around, and all of a sudden I'm in that position. I'm in that corner spot, and she's now facing me. But she was perhaps a little bit aware of it. She as soon as that position changed, she started to be a lot more closer and a bit more romantic with the way that her body language changed all of a sudden. But one thing that I did notice that was perhaps a negative was that she had her shoulder away from me. She was like kind of not really looking at me. She hadn't turned all the way. So I wonder whether I need to do a little bit more to just get her to turn around. But we still had a great conversation. She really wanted to take my number. She actually came out to look for me afterwards, but I had already bounced because I was only there to work. I was only there to learn and practice and to nail some of these techniques that I'm working on. So that's my update for today. On positioning and going out in Soho. Really great thanks to Dan. We had a lovely time. He's a good lad, and I'm looking forward to going out with him again. I definitely want to stay in touch with you guys and keep you up to date on how my progress is going, because we want to learn together. I'm going to document this process, and I'm going to help you as much as I possibly can to learn how to meet women, whether that's in the nighttime, in the daytime, or whether you're building your social network and attracting people through that. So if you have any questions, or if you are struggling with going out to the bars and you haven't really thought about your positioning at all, you can definitely reach out to me. You can catch me on Instagram, or you can subscribe to this channel and click the link below where you can watch my full course. It's free for you to watch. I want you to have everything. You just need to click the link below and get access. I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys in the future, and I hope this helps loads. So thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye.